What's up, guys? Welcome to the Jared Williams Show. Today we're going to talk about how I doubled my profits, job sold in 30 days. Here's how. But first, what's up, Joel?
What's up, man? That was a crazy intro, dude. That was like wild.
I'm getting better.
I mean, you're getting better. That one was... It was okay.
Well,
I think the intro that I did was better, personally.
No.
Yeah. When I acted as you.
You can do the next one then.
Okay, I'll do
and
it.
we'll let the audience vote.
The audience doesn't need to vote. Everybody's going to vote my way anyway. I'm the likable one in this podcast. Everybody knows this.
Okay. So I'll give you that. I mean, I don't care. I don't mind being the non-likable one or you being more likable than me. I'm fine. I'm totally cool with that.
Oh, I don't care either.
I would actually prefer it that way.
Yeah.
Especially,
Yeah, it's hard being liked. What can I say?
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's tough on the top of the mountain.
It's tough on the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Today we're going to talk about doubling your job sold in 30 days. And I think probably the easiest way to do that is to just have more jobs to do.
Yes, that would make sense.
Sounds
to
crazy
get more
simple.
jobs. But I mean, it's crazy simple, but like getting jobs is hard. Right? Question mark?
Dude, it's not that hard.
Man, what are you talking about? Everybody struggles to get work all the time.
Everybody struggles, and we're going to solve that issue right here, right now on this podcast.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Watch till the end, because if you do what we say, then you're going to have work. It's not that difficult. Pretty simple. So I think we should talk about this. We're going to basically talk about, how to market your company moving forward. We kind of did one, pre 2024, how to market your company in 2024.
Oh, yeah, like back at the tail end of Yeah, marketing. What marketing's going to be like in 2024 and all that kind of stuff.
Yep. But my opinions have changed a little bit on what to market or how to market yourself. And then we just started a pressure washing company. And so been thinking about how we're going to market this thing and working in my new perceptions on marketing into how we're going to market this pressure washing business. So we should probably just walk them through what the plan is that we're going to do for our pressure washing company.
Yeah, I think it's pretty reasonable because everybody's got to start somewhere. And
And you don't even know what the plan is, so
I know about the basics,
So
but I don't know about any of these fancy dancy things you got going on.
Shazamaram.
Yeah.
So we started the pressure washing company legally. We have an LLC form.
I tried to start it illegally, but Jared wouldn't let me.
Yeah. We have the bank account. We have credit cards, debit cards. We also have, what else do we got going on? We got 2 trucks on order.
Being built up right now.
They're being built up. They're on the way. Probably the first step we've taken towards marketing is we built a temporary brand on ChatGPT.
Which I honestly don't think we're ever going to use, actually.
We might. We probably won't.
Because by the time everything lines up, we'll probably have a real brand. But it's actually really cool because I think even doing that temporary brand gave us some things that we liked about it.
Yeah.
And like gave us a good vibe for the brand so that, then we can give that to Mammoth and be like, we kind of like this, now do stuff.
So that's the second thing we've done towards marketing is we hired Mammoth Marketing to do our brand. So they're going to design the logo, the textures, the colors we're going to use, the fonts we're going to use, and then they'll design the vehicle wraps last.
Yeah, cool.
And I just had my meeting with them. Let's see, today's Friday. I literally just had my meeting with them this week on Monday.
Yeah.
Next week I'll get a rough draft back on stuff, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, cool.
It's typically about a 3-week process, so we should have
Oh, cool. So yeah, that should
final brand done in 3 to 4 weeks with truck wraps and all that stuff.
And Mammoth does the GMB and stuff too. Because I started working on the GMB.
Whoa. Hold on.
That's just a question, man.
Yes, they will.
Remember. Okay, that's good. Because it's funny because I went and I took all of Prospector's GMB language and I just altered it for the pressure washing company. And I was like, man, I hope somebody else does this to actually check all these boxes on this.
No, I'll probably run through that stuff as well.
Yeah.
So first thing, we started with a professional brand.
I think that's huge. I think nobody does that.
Well, a lot more people are doing it now, which is good.
Yeah.
But let's even go back a step further first thing is we started with a name. Like
True.
the first step of branding your company is let's have a name that is easy to brand.
Yeah, easy to brand and like lasts and then can hit your desired level of scale.
Or your desired market.
Yeah, desired market. Yeah.
Yep. So you're trying to come up with a name that is easy to remember, stands out, it's unique, it's not just generic like everybody else.
Yeah.
You're trying to be different, right?
Yep.
And so if you're going to be just local, you can pick like local names that aren't overused and use them. But I would do it in like an interesting way.
Sure.
Not just like down here, there's a ton of panhandle.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We're in the panhandle of Florida. That's where we live. And there's panhandle this, panhandle that, panhandle this. And it's just such a boring, generic name. Yep. Don't do that.
Yeah, it's like one step up above like last name. Like it's one above that, you know?
Yeah. I would put it on the same level.
Okay.
You could have Williams pressure washing and be just as good as Panhandle pressure washing. Nobody's going to care.
You know, I learned something today.
What?
I know you totally want to hear this.
I'm so excited.
So the thing that you stick into the end of the pressure washer that has your different, you either have your pressure wash thing or your fan outlet, your whatever, it's called a J-rod.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny. And I was like, wow, J-Rods comes back again.
So for listeners who don't know, my business was called J-Rods Plumbing originally. Yeah. And then we rebranded to Prospector. Yeah.
I almost called and told you that. And I was like, Jared
I already knew.
Well, and also I was like, this isn't worth the time. Hey, Jared, I got 10 minutes that I could kill for you.
I got 10 minutes to waste of yours.
Yeah. And you'll be like, okay.
Is that why you called me?
Yeah. And I'm
for
like,
real?
I'm like, yeah, bro. What's going on?
But there's another prime example. Like change my name from J-Rods to Prospector. Prospector was in Fairbanks, Alaska. It's a gold mining town. It wasn't overused. It's not like just a generic, like up there, the panhandle equivalent would be like North Star.
Yeah,
because we live in the Fairbanks North Star borough.
Yeah.
What's another one up there?
I was just trying to think of another like Alaskan trope, we could call it.
Golden Heart.
Yeah, Golden Heart.
Golden Heart is.
Or there's even like Frontier is a thing that's used quite a bit.
Frontier is used a ton.
Yeah, or like
Frontier,
like
Aurora,
stuff like that.
Yep. Frontier probably would have worked, but anyway, we chose Prospector. Like other great names up there would have been like Grizzly Plumbing.
Oh yeah, that would have worked.
Or things like that. Yeah. Things that are like very Alaskan. Yeah. So that people there like knew we were local, we were in your market, we were not some corporate business for some reason that matters in Alaska.
You should have been trying to think how to phrase this. Should have been something like low D plumbing.
Low D.
Yeah, you ain't get no vitamin D up there.
There you go. That's why we don't like big names.
Yeah. What are you talking about? It'd be like a really pale guy who's like peeking out of a cabin. Like that'd be your mascot.
With his sunglasses on.
Yeah. Hello, this is Low D Plumbing. They'd be like, Low D?
Have you ever seen bench warmers?
No, I haven't.
The dude's brothers just hides out in the closet all day.
Yeah.
And he like opens the door.
Yeah.
He's freaked out of the sun.
Yeah, you could just take that guy and then that could be your mascot.
There you go. So it's not that like names like Low D probably wouldn't work, but names like
it's confusing.
Williams or Panhandle, it's not that they're not going to work.
Right.
They'll work. You'll be able to market it. You'll be able to grow it. You could probably grow it into a $100 million company. It's just going to be harder.
Sure.
Especially starting out.
Yeah.
When you start out fresh, you have to build this brand awareness into the community. And it can take a long time, even with a good, recognizable, memorable brand. So if you just use common sense, like if you're going out and your brand is not memorable, well, first off, it doesn't catch your attention.
Yeah.
So nobody takes the time to look at it. And then when they do look at it, they can't remember it.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be way harder to grow your company.
Yeah.
Your marketing is going to be less effective.
Yeah.
You're going to have to spend more money to build brand awareness.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what you want to do. And that's the secret. That's what everybody misses. It's not it's not the brand, it's the brand awareness that everybody misses.
Sure, you can have a really good brand, but if you aren't making people aware of it, then
Yeah. Yep.
it doesn't matter.
Exactly. And I mean, we can think of tons of brands that have, terrible branding,
Yeah.
but they have really good brand awareness.
Yeah.
It's just going to be harder for you. So you might as well start out with a decent name and a decent brand. So we named our company Dude Wash. Should stand out.
Yeah.
Should be pretty memorable.
And I've talked to a couple pressure washers who are local, and when I told them the name, they were like, "What?" Like I could tell they're already like, "I kind of don't like it," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's okay," because like that's gonna make it stick out.
Yep.
Like the name like has the potential to ride a line of people going, "Can I take this seriously?" Like, well, I got you thinking about it.
Yep. So then we're getting a professional brand design, and when I was on the call with Mammoth, I was on the call with their brand designer, and we're going over local competitors, and we're thumbing through all their stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, every single pressure washing company is blue.
Yeah, they love
Blue and green.
They love blue.
Blue, green, and red.
Yep.
And so he said, we're not going to use blue, green, or red.
Nope.
I said, okay, cool. We might use some green.
Sure.
They typically use green as like an accent color. If
Yeah.
we use it, we'll use it as like one of our main colors.
Yeah.
So there's that too to think about as well as far as your brand standing out. It needs to be colors that aren't used all the time. If you look like everybody else, everybody assumes you're just like everybody else.
Yeah, and you're not. Yeah, there's no reason for them to, like, there's no reason that you'll stick out in their mind, which then will give them no reason to call you because they're not going to really recall that you exist.
Yep. 100%.
And then when you get a big old, like, because our trucks are huge.
They're massive.
So we have an advantage because our trucks are like they're huge. And like even in Pensacola, there's not really any companies of any genre that have loud brands.
Nope.
Actually, there's zero with loud brands.
There's zero.
There are brands, but they're not anything that we would consider disruptive or anything that's like, whoa, they're like doing stuff. It's just kind of like normal brand stuff. Even at like the biggest companies we got in town doing anything.
Yeah.
Because I've seen like a couple of big truck wraps, but it's like,
They're lame. They're hard to read.
yeah, it's just
You
like,
don't remember them.
no, it's just normal stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Just looks normal.
Yep.
Yep. Nothing special.
No.
Doesn't catch your attention. No. And I look for those things.
I'm happy when I see them too. Well, we have one company in town, Commander Air. They're one that is the closest thing to a brand that isn't just like
but they have an old brand and they have a new brand. Did you notice that?
I don't know. I think I've only seen like 3 of their trucks rolling around.
Yeah, and they don't have, not all their trucks are wrapped in the new brand. Their old brand was horrendous. It was a white van that says Commander in cursive.
Oh, yeah. I think I have seen that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen mostly their new one. It's got like the duck on it or whatever.
Yeah. That's way better.
Yeah, it's actually a kind of a creative name because if you make the Blue Angels link and then like the military presence that we have here, you're like, oh, interesting. It's like close enough, but it's not obvious. Like down here, another one would be like Blue Angel ...
Oh, yeah.
That'd be another really overused thing.
Way overused.
Yeah.
So don't use overused. So good name, good brand. And then that way you have like a really good foundation to start on. Keep your colors different than everybody else, your name different. Just spend the money to do it. It'll be worth every penny.
Yeah.
If you can't afford a brand, just make a generic logo on ChatGPT real quick and then stick that on the side of your truck on like a little truck magnet.
Yeah, go to Vistaprint, order some stuff. And
go get some work, and then first thing you spend your money on is rebrand.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, what's next?
Well, I mean, because we also hired Mammoth to do all the other sides.
Yeah.
Getting our online presence all set up, doing all that stuff, which takes time.
Yep.
And then, I mean, our strategy is really going to be, at least from my perspective, is that we're starting out strong with all the things.
Yep.
And so we'll have the things, and then as far as like marketing, I mean, we'll spend money once we have platforms to spend money on.
Yep.
But then really before that, it's probably just going to be lots of door knocking and door hangers and all the guerrilla tactics that we've always talked about.
Yep.
The benefit will be is we'll have nice brand materials with it.
I don't think you're going to have to do much of that.
I kind of don't think so either.
I don't think so either. So kind of my plan that I've been thinking about is like next thing we'll do is we'll set up our GMB. So as soon as we have our brand done, we're going to go get polos, hats, all the good stuff. We'll have our trucks wrapped.
Yep.
And we'll get photos.
Yep.
We'll
get photos of us with our stuff because we really don't want Google to like be suspicious that we're a real business. So this is probably what we're going to do. We're going to get everybody we know to get in our stuff, in our uniforms, and we're going to take pictures. Yeah, sure. So there's like 10 of us.
Like there's at least like 6 or 7 of us, right? With our trucks behind us. And then we're going to go take photos and video out in the field. We'll get a drone. I got a drone. We'll get some drone footage of the trucks and pressure washing and nice people. And we'll probably stage some photos at somebody's house with interacting with the customer and how friendly we are. With everybody smiling and happy and well trimmed. And you're going to have to trim your beard.
Never. Just gonna put sticks in it, you know? It's going to be wild.
And so then we'll have marketing materials that we can use. So then we're going to go set up our GMB. We're going to have all those photos on our GMB. Between, because when we get our trucks down here and we're going to have trucks here, wraps are probably going to be done, designed. We're going to be able to get them in to get wrapped. But then there's going to be this like 3 to 6 week period where Mammoth is busy setting up, building the website, setting up all that other stuff. So then during that time, we're going to have, as soon as the trucks are out with the wraps, we should have uniforms and wrap trucks. We're going to go around and do a bunch of free work.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
And part of what we're going to do when we're doing that free work is we're going to take before and after pictures. So every single job, when it's a dirty, dirty wall, we're going to go, I'm going to give you a tripod. And you're going to set up your phone on the tripod and you're going to click and you're going to wash it. And you're going to go step back and go click. So the photo's exactly the same.
Yeah.
And then we'll have before and after photos. So we'll have tons of branded, good looking photos.
Yeah. Cause we'll be in the photos and then even of the video content that it's like cause like you can go out and get, what is that when you go out and buy generic stuff?
Yeah, we do not. We're
not going to do anything generic.
Do not use generic photos.
Yeah, because we can
even if you just take photos on your iPhone, it's going to be better than generic photos.
Yeah.
So we'll have all that stuff, and then I'll probably film a video. I'll probably trim my beard a little shorter.
Holy moly!
Say hello to the camera.
Yeah.
And
you've never done that before. Are you confident?
I'll be good.
You gonna be okay?
I'll do okay.
Okay, I'm nervous about this part.
So I'll probably film a video that we're gonna put on our main webpage, and we're probably gonna pin it to the top of all our social media profiles, and it'll just be a video talking about who we are, what we do, and why you should hire us. That's it. So we'll have all those pieces. We'll go get our GMB. We'll put all those photos and all those videos on there so we look really, really legit. You're going to go around and do free cleanings and collect as many 5-star reviews as you possibly can.
And sell as many memberships as I can.
Sell as many memberships as you can during that time. And then on our GMB, like this is really important. A lot of people just skip your GMB is such a massive power tool for bringing you work.
Especially because if you're hoping that you're going to get a lot of your work from Google, the GMB is sort of like the nexus of your your front on it. It's like your storefront.
It's like your Google webpage.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So, because if you think about it, nobody knows pressure washing companies off the top of their head. And even if they do know the name of it, they're still going to search the name.
Yep.
Or they're going to search pressure washing and they're finding the name, right? But like when I needed a pressure washing company, I went to Google. The GMBs of the pressure washing companies, and this is true for plumbing companies, electrical companies, HVAC companies, you go look and like there's no good photos. half the time there's not even a website. They don't have their products listed on there. They don't have updates on there. They don't have their social medias linked. So it's the simple things that will make that convert so much better. It's like you're sending people to it, so you need to make it convert well.
Yep.
Just like your website, just like anything that you would send somebody to, you want it to be designed to convert well.
Right. Yeah, sure.
So on your GMB, there's a few things you can do to convert well. Number one, have professional photos. Number two, have your website on there. Have a way to message you on there. Make sure your phone number's on there and it's correct.
Yes. Yep.
The description part. So part of what I've kind of changed about my marketing tactic, with Prospector, it was always like, I just want people to know who Prospector is.
Sure.
And then when they need a plumbing company, they'll call. And there was a time when I read Alex Hormozy's book, 100 Million Offer. And he talks about how people have a problem that you solve in a specific way, right? And what are the value that you bring to the marketplace that you can preach to the customer? And so in Prospector, we always just preach, hey, we answer the phone, we get to you quickly. A lot of people are preaching that now.
Right.
So what I want to start preaching in all of our Dude Wash stuff, I want to preach the memberships, the discounts, because I think customers are getting a little more savvy.
Sure.
I think they're starting to understand, like, a lot of these people are getting really expensive. And if you think about, yesterday I went to, I was just thinking about this and I was like, man, I kind of want to like prove this theory of mine that companies are now discount up front.
Yeah, sure.
They're offering the discount before you ever even look at their services as a way to get you to choose them, right?
Yeah, sure.
So if you go to like levi's.com,
oh, yeah, sure, of course.
within 5 seconds, a pop-up window pops up.
Yeah, even if
20% off.
Yeah.
Sign up for our newsletter.
Yep, right now.
Yep.
Yep.
So then I went to
Only
Vans.
available for like however long.
Yeah. So then I went to vans.com. Within 5 seconds, pop-up window. 15% off your first order. Enter your email here. Then I went to Volcom. Within 5 seconds, pop-up window. 20% off your first order. So they're using discounts to help market their company.
Right.
So I want to try. I've always been against marketing with discounts.
Sure.
Because I didn't want to attract the discount customer.
Yeah, the intentional discount bargain shopper.
Yes. But I think that even people, like, you think about the cost of things these days.
Sure, of course.
Right? So
It's
inflation
no different.
Yeah,
it's the same as it's always been.
Yeah,
I don't know what people are complaining
since
about.
Biden got in, it's gotten better.
Well, honestly, if you don't look at the price of stuff, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Don't look at your bank account either.
I
then.
would never dare. I'm too scared. I just let that. Who knows what it's like? Hopefully it's good.
Yeah. So if you think about like how far your money goes nowadays,
Yeah, sure.
does it go just as far as it used to?
No.
No, not even
No.
close. Like, groceries are ridiculous.
Yep.
I spend as much on myself to eat a month than I used to spend on my entire family to eat a month.
Oh yeah, groceries are insane.
They're insane.
Yeah.
Gas hasn't gone down. It's still up historically. Interest rates are up. Home prices are astronomical.
Yeah, we probably live in one of the. I mean, there's other places where you can actually purchase a home, but like most places, it's like, oh, I can't. Like, I was looking at like Colorado back where I grew up, and it's like where I grew up, it's like
It's insane.
crappy houses are multi-million dollars.
It's insane. Go look at California, dude.
Yeah,
it's like
it's really funny because
wild.
it's just like, oh, a little 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and then like, oh, 1.1 million.
And it needs to be remodeled.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is not like a nice pristine house. It is like
No.
a tiny little thing.
Yeah. So it's gotten more expensive to live. Wages haven't gone up
Not crazy.
accordingly.
No, definitely not accordingly.
And it's harder than ever to live right now. And so you've got people who own homes who their money isn't going as far. And I think even people in the upper middle class bracket, which are most of our customers, probably the majority of our customers are, middle class blue collar workers.
Yep.
And all of a sudden they're discount shopping.
Yeah.
It's the world we live in nowadays. And so if you can tie that discount to your membership, basically let them know you offer a discount. When they click on that advertisement, you take them to a membership page on your website where they can sign up right on your website. I think that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, interesting. That's almost taking like, that's like potentially pulling a page out of like the digital services, which is exactly what it is, where it's like now you can focus on a good converting landing page for that membership. You can make sure you position that membership properly. And then, because imagine if you sold memberships without ever talking to anybody. It's like, I mean, obviously there's going to be a cost to acquire that membership, but then there's going to be work that's associated with it later. So you're going to make more money with it. That's an interesting idea because then, you know, theoretically you would sell memberships even if you didn't
sell a single membership, they would know it's available.
Yeah, sure.
And you would be branding your company anyways.
Yeah, and really a key to growth, like we've talked about, is selling memberships.
Yeah, it's a huge key. Yeah, if you math that out, it's massive.
Yeah, the math is like, yeah, and I think that's another thing that a lot of like plumbing business owners get to really late in the game.
Yep.
And I think my theory, you tell me what you think, is like I think it's just because most softwares don't support memberships. Like I don't think like I can get on Jobber and get a membership, right?
I don't think you can on Jobber, but like House Call Pro does.
Sure.
We hopped on Sarah, it does. Service Titan does.
Sure.
So like there's your affordable options like House Call Pro where you can sell memberships.
For like I think for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So then it's really just an awareness game.
Yeah,
and then a know-how game.
And it's crazy what memberships will do for your business growth.
Yeah, especially if you start at day one. Like, come on now. And I think at first you're like, well, it's only $99 a year. That's not that much money. Is it even worth the time? But then when you map it out, you're like, dude, it becomes a lot of money.
It becomes a lot.
And not even talking about now you don't have to advertise to that customer in the same way anymore because they're already paying you stuff. So memberships is a huge chunk of like advertising and marketing.
Yes.
Only because then you don't have to spend money to get that customer again.
It raises the lifetime value of that customer.
Yeah.
Plus it's the infinite customer acquisition loop is really what it is. Because you sell a membership for $99, and over the course of 5 years, average lifespan of a member, they're going to pay you $500. Cost to acquire a new customers for my other plumbing company was $105. And so you acquire one customer and he makes you enough money to acquire 4 more.
Sure.
That's how it works when you start selling memberships. So you take that money that you make from your memberships and you dump it back into marketing, and that's what fuels your business growth. And it technically doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
So it basically does the marketing for you.
Yeah.
Right? And so you can grow at the rate that you sell memberships, which is really the best way to grow a business. That way it's fairly recession proof.
Yeah, tell me what you think about this. For those guys who are worried about like PE, private equity coming into their market, if they start building memberships from day one, it seems to me that they're going to have an advantage. Now, if private equity buys a company with a bunch of memberships, then probably not.
Here's the thing. Those big companies, they're going in and they're driving rates up, and they're sales heavy, most of them.
Because it's kind of what they know.
And so they're one-time selling a lot of these customers and driving their customers away.
Sure.
And you can scoop them up like mad if you just run an efficient business and have memberships.
Yeah.
Yeah. And preach discounts.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
So we should probably get back to the GMB. So on the GMB in the description, right? I'm going to come up with, and this is something I'm going to work on before I ever talk to the marketing company, is what do I want my message to the customer, to our potential customers to be?
Sure. Yeah.
And I heard this the other day, it was brand what you can do for the customer. So what is it that we as Dude Wash or you as plumbing owner or you as electrical owner listening, what is it that we can do for our customers that other companies aren't doing, right? So for us, and this is where my opinion has shifted, is basically on the discount portion. It's going to be like, we can offer you a 15% discount when you become a member.
Sure.
That's going to be something that I'm going to preach to my customers because I want to build members. I want members. And that 15% discount is going to be built into our pricing.
Yeah.
So it's not going to cost us anything.
Right. Yeah. It's not like we're going to go and then take a hit to our net margin at 15% or something.
No. Yeah. Once we discount, we're still going to hit margin.
Yep.
And net margins.
Yep.
Gross and net.
Yep.
So the other thing is I want to get to them not just fast, but I want to have guaranteed appointment times.
Yeah. So they know that when, hey, you agreed to this time, we'll be there.
Yep. We'll be there.
And then we'll communicate like how we always talk about communicating, where you'll get a message on the way over with a picture of my face and a bio of who I am and all this kind of stuff. And then
guaranteed appointment times are going to be a member perk.
Yeah.
So we'll give you a 1 hour guaranteed appointment time if you become a member.
Yeah.
Guaranteed to be there.
Yeah. So then you put it in your special benefits thing.
Yep. And that way, so now, like you think about, like you call AT&T and they give you an 8 hour window.
Yeah. Sure.
You're like, okay, so I can't go anywhere today.
Yeah.
I got to stay home all day.
Especially if it's something where they have to be there.
Yeah. Most companies are giving you a 4 hour window. My last company, we gave you a 2 hour window. But even then, it wasn't guaranteed.
Right.
And the number one thing that would piss customers off is when we had to move them.
Especially because everybody will take you at your word. And so they'll call their boss and be like, hey, I got to go home for 2 hours to see this plumber, whomever it is, power washer. And then you call and you're like, hey, so we're going to be actually pushing you to the end of the day or whatever.
Yep.
And they're like, I already took work off. And I was like, well, sorry. And sometimes it's fine. They're like, all right, that's not a big deal. But sometimes they're like, are you kidding me? Like, So if you can like alleviate that pain point, I think that'll go a long ways.
So all our marketing is going to be around those two things. It's going to be around get this discount plus get this perk.
Yeah.
Guaranteed appointment times, 15% off on your first service call.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to rock and roll.
Yeah.
So I'm going to communicate that in the bio, in the description.
Sure.
It's going to say, so when somebody reads that description, they're going to know exactly what we do and why they should call us. And the same things that I say in that bio, I'm going to say in the video that we're going to put on our website.
Yeah. So
and
it's
the
everything's
video
consistent.
that we're going to put on our social medias.
Yep.
So that it's extremely consistent. No matter where they go, they hear the same message over and over and over and over again.
Yep. And then probably even through like the language of the CSRs. And then like obviously when we're there doing the house, like we'll show up at the appointed time, but we'll be communicating the same message.
Yep.
And so everything is aligned. So then the customers just reinforce that, oh, this is what this company's about.
Yep.
And then when they're super happy with the service, then they'll probably talk about certain things like that in their reviews.
Yep.
And then to their word of mouth when they're all like, oh, your house looks so beautiful. It's like, oh, this company did it, like guaranteed appointments. And I saved a bunch of money with the discount.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're like, okay, cool.
They told me they'd be here between 10 and 11 and they got here between 10 and 11. I only had to take an hour off work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super easy.
Super easy to use. And I got a 15% discount when I signed up for their membership, which saves me money because I'm going to have them come back in another 6 months.
Yep.
Yes.
And their membership was like, and it's interesting because the membership game, the one that we preach where it's like $99 per year, that's a cheaper membership versus anything else most people are paying for.
Correct.
Netflix is more expensive. Amazon's more expensive for sure.
Yep.
The only thing that is near-ish is probably Costco.
Yep.
Depending on which package you get.
Yep.
So it's like we're right there with like not expensive membership packages.
Nope.
Which is cool.
And it pays for itself.
Yeah.
So it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 things you want. Brand what you can do for the customer and then make working with you a no-brainer.
Yeah. And that's really what they want. They just want the thing done they just want honesty and consistency and integrity. And a lot of that comes with like how you fulfill on the work, but a lot of it comes with when you say you do something, you actually do the thing.
Yeah.
Which the first thing is, oh, did you say you were going to show up? Oh, you didn't show up. Which isn't a guaranteed loss. It's just, they're like, I wish. I guess it's the world we live in.
So when you tell somebody I'm going to be there between 10 and noon and you don't show up between 10 and noon, even if you have to call them and reschedule them, your value in their mind just went down.
Of course.
So then when you get to their house and you pitch them on a price, which you have to, like, no matter how efficient you run your business, your prices need to be higher than what most people charge.
Yeah.
So you're going to be one of the more expensive companies.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to sell work, you need to be as valuable as possible. Because the second you start losing value in your mind, the second that price seems way more expensive.
Yep.
If they see you online and then you look super professional, so then they assume you're super professional. They call you and you're extremely professional. And then you show up on time and then you're professional in person.
Yep.
Value is skyrocketed.
Yeah, there's no negative marks against you.
Zero.
And so then when you say, oh yeah, like this is what we can do for you. Here's my options. Here's what it's going to be. And if they haven't bought a membership yet, you're like, oh, and with the membership, here's your savings on all these items right here.
Yeah.
And
They
they're like,
might
holy crap.
they might even be thinking, man, I could call that Gary guy and he could swing by and he does this for half the price. But then they start thinking, oh yeah, but then I got to call him and get on his waiting list.
Sure.
And it's going to show up randomly.
And meanwhile, I'm there with like an iPad with my big old rig. And I'm like, hey, I'm right here.
yeah.
And look, you can save money
Oh, yeah.
with the memberships. Easy peasy.
And they're like, I like this better.
Yeah. And then I'm gone in like 40 minutes.
Yep.
And they're like, that was it?
Yep.
Like, wow.
Yep.
I'm done?
Yep.
Like, yeah, you're done.
So what's absolutely crazy with the pressure washing business is that because of our equipment, we're going to be able to do it for about the same price as everybody else. We're just going to do it 4 or 5 times faster.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be able to be super professional really quick and still have pretty much the same rates, maybe slightly more expensive,
Yeah.
but not much.
Not enough that it's really going to tip the scale.
Yeah, our value is far going to outweigh the price that we have to charge.
And I don't know about what everybody pays power washers in the town, but I think we're going to pay really well too.
Oh yeah,
Just based upon what I know what other people make in town just in general.
dude, totally.
So it's going to be super fun because then we're going to make margin.
Yep.
And we're going to be able to pay people well, provide opportunities, and since we're trying to grow a really big business, there's so much opportunity for people who really want to contribute to do a bunch of cool stuff, make good money and all that kind of stuff. So that part's like really fun to think about, where it's not just like, well, I hope this side gig turns into my main gig and then eventually I'll sell it for 150,000 maybe, you know, because that's a way that a lot of service companies go. So the side gig turns into the main gig and they try to exit for like.
Didn't you talk to a guy he was selling?
Yeah, he was selling, and he was, because I was trying to just learn stuff. He didn't really want to tell me any stuff, which is fine. But he's selling, it was for like 180K. Just essentially his rig, his customer list, normal stuff, his website, his brand.
Then he pays and he had a broker.
Yes, he had a broker.
So he pays his broker, pays half in taxes, and he's left with 90,000.
Yeah, not a great chunk of money.
No, then he's got to go get a job.
I don't know. Or go buy a boat and fish for a little while or something.
Maybe.
Who knows? But that does not seem like the way to go.
No, not at all. No, don't do that. Just stay in your job.
Yeah.
For goodness sake.
Yeah. The grass. Yeah. So I hear this a lot and I understand it to some extent, but a chunk of me doesn't accept it, is when I hear people say, I just can't work for somebody. And it's like, okay, well, I get that.
No, I get it. I literally can't work for somebody.
Yeah, I guess I just don't get it as much because I don't care.
I'm miserable. When I work for other people, I'm miserable. But so knowing that, I have a choice.
Sure.
Well, I have 3 choices. I can stay working for somebody else and be miserable. I can go start my own business and run it really poorly and just have a crappy job.
But maybe be less miserable?
Yeah, I'll be less miserable.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, so it'd be an improvement. Okay.
I'll work harder, make less, but I'll be happier.
Okay.
Because I have the ability to choose my way.
Yeah, okay,
right?
Gotcha. Okay,
I have some resemblance of freedom to some extent.
Yeah,
right?
you have your perception of freedom is agreeing with your like personal principles.
Yes.
Even if you're making less money and you technically don't have any more freedom. If anything,
nobody
you have
else
less
is telling
freedom.
me what to do.
Yeah.
Except my customers, which starts to irritate the crap out of me after about a year.
Sure, of course.
Right? So, or number 3, I can go run a legitimate business that makes legitimate margins, that pays people well, that serves its customers well, and it can provide me with ultimate freedom of in in every area of life, time freedom, money freedom.
Yep.
The choice is yours.
Yeah, that is true. And really the difference between crappy business and good business is just like a recognition of skill sets that need to be improved upon.
Most people just don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
They have no idea the third option is even an option. They go from job to business owner and they struggle, and they don't know that the third one is an option. And when they find out it is, they don't know how to get there because they don't know how to run a business. They're typically, good at their job, not good at running a business. And so that's a tough transition to make. I mean, it took me forever, right? But it's well worth it.
Well, sure.
It's well worth the effort and the work and the learning to get there, hands down.
And then eventually the learning, once you understand it, like in your position now, where now you can apply all this knowledge, and it's probably way more fun and enjoyable.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Because you're far more certain of the outcome. Obviously nothing is certain, but you're far more like, yeah, this seems like this will go because I understand all the pieces and how they fit together.
Yeah.
So we just implement the pieces.
Yeah.
And then go do the work. Yeah. And then figure out where the wiggles are and then smooth them out.
Yeah. It's easy.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. It's going to get to a point. So, I mean, it's easy up to a point. Like,
of course.
I've gone to, like, my plumbing company grew it to 5 million. You could say 5.3 million. 5.35 is what we hit last 365 when I last owned it. So you could say I've done that to pretty good profit margins. I'd say we figured out a lot about, pricing, margin, serving the customer, getting good reviews, having happy employees, good culture, paying people well. I got all that. I know how to market that. And I think we can just keep doing that up to a point. But there's we want to grow this pressure washing business to 100 million.
Yeah.
When we get to 6 or 7,
it's new waters now.
It's new waters.
And then especially because
there's going to be some learring curves.
There's going to be learning curves. There's going to be expanding markets. I mean, but I think one of the coolest advantages that we have is we just have a small, I would say a large group of dedicated people who are in it to win it. Because a lot of times you don't come into a company where you have dedicated people who are like, we're here to win. That aren't willing to be like, Jared, you can't pay me enough to really sit here and win. So it's it'll be cool because we'll be able to problem solve through these things with a lot of intentional people who are, smart, I guess, who are trying to figure this out.
I've never gone into a business before thinking I'm going to find an opportunity that I think I can take to 100 million and I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, sure.
So just that in and of itself, to think that big and long term, I'm pretty sure it's going to help a lot.
I think so too. And I think
plus I'm not going to give up.
No, I mean, we talk about it intentionally, not to brag or anything. It's just reinforcing to ourselves that that's our goal, but then adding a layer of accountability and then watching the comments come through that laugh at it and all that kind of stuff, which is just fuel for the fire. Please pile it on.
Yep.
It's always
we'll
fun.
humble you. Yeah. Give me a few years.
Yeah.
I'll humble you.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing motivates Jared like people telling him he can't do stuff. So
nothing, dude. So I used to be, all growing up, I was the guy who didn't want to tell anybody what I was doing.
Sure.
In case I failed is really what it was.
Yeah,
it was really a fear of failure, but I also enjoyed the surprise.
I'm awesome.
Yeah. Ha-ha.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know I knew how to play Risk?
Yeah.
I studied all yesterday.
Yeah. GoldenEye.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
That was my game.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to GMB. So, description. Put a good description. Yeah. Think about how you want what you want your customers to know you for. What you can do for your customer that sets you apart from the competition. Think about that. Go write it down. Come up with 1 or 2 things. I'd say 2. And those are going to be the things that you talk about over and over and over again in all of your marketing. Okay? We're talking about GMB because it's free and it'll get you a ton of work. And you can stand out and look different on there than your competitors, and people are going to call you. When you get your description done, move on down to your products. Actually build out your products. It's like a mini web page.
Yeah, sure, it really is.
You can really tell the customer all the things that you offer.
And should those products coincide with your web page, with
services on your website?
Yeah.
They don't have to, but they could. So you could I would think about it like this. If you're in competition on the GMB with every other GMB.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And so you take a GMB that has no products and you set it next to the GMB that has products,
right.
and put yourself in the customer's shoes. I'm searching for somebody that will clean the exterior of my house. Okay. And I go and I look up pressure washing company or exterior house cleaning company, right? Whatever people search. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
And Google pops up a bunch of GMBs.
Right.
And so they go to the one with no products listed, and it's like so-and-so power washing. And they're like, okay. And they don't have any pictures.
Yeah. Or their pictures are pretty generic.
Okay, they're a power washing company. And then they go to Dude Wash.
Yeah.
And they scroll down and they have pictures. Like they see pictures of us washing houses. And then they scroll down even further and we have products. And under one of our products is exterior house cleaning. And they're like, oh, they do exactly what I need.
Yeah.
Which one are they going to call?
Well, the one that gets them closer to the thing that they want.
Exactly. So building out products is an incredibly important part of your GMB, of optimizing it.
Yeah, because they're going to choose the person who gets closer to their exact problem.
Yep.
And if you match their problem exactly, then they have a much higher likelihood to choose you at that point.
Correct. So then you keep going on that GMB and you've got updates. We're just going to make social media content and we're going to put it on our updates.
Yep.
And the only reason for that is that Google wants you to use the feature.
Yep.
I think they want at least 3 a week. We're going to do 10 probably.
Yep.
10 updates a week. Whatever we post on social media will get posted on our GMB.
Yeah.
Just to satisfy Google's algorithm. So they'll show us more often just because we're more active on our GMB.
Yeah, we're scratching Google's back, so it will throw us a tiny scrap.
Yep. It also just makes you look cooler.
Yeah, and then you have lots of stuff happening.
More stuff happening on your GMB. Yeah. Down from there, then on the bottom, you can link your social media profiles. Because this is what happens. Customers go look at your GMB. They're like, these guys look legit. They look better than these other guys. Then they go check out your website. Then they go check out your Facebook or your Instagram or whatever. And then they decide to call you is typically what happens.
Yeah, sure.
I think if you were to look at the customer journey, I think lately in 2023, they're taking more time.
2023, 2024.
2023, 2024, both. Sure. The customer is taking more time picking the contractor that they're calling.
Yeah.
They are going and checking your reviews and your website.
Sure.
And your Facebook. They want to know you're legit. And that's what makes them feel comfortable. So whatever is preached on my GMB, if it's preached on my website and it's preached on my social media profiles, they're going to go, I like these guys. It's legit. They're going to know exactly what you're about, and they're probably going to give you a call.
Yeah, and like I'm even thinking like for us who are going to be appealing to certain amounts of commercial contracts as well, then when that person who is, maybe more, what would you say? I don't want to say necessarily more professional maybe, but then they're going to look through and be like, okay, well, let's check these guys out. I already have somebody who's doing this. These guys say that they can do it this way or whatever. And they're going to be like, okay, well, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on X, they're on LinkedIn. Like, oh, but they're consistent. It's not just here for fluff. They're going to be like, oh, seems like a legitimate company, which you want to be a legitimate company. Like that is a value just in and of itself. To be like, I'm legitimate. And having all these profiles that are active and doing things is just going to lend to your case of legitimacy. Yeah.
Legitimacy builds trust.
Yeah.
They trust you more.
Yep.
And so when you go there and you offer them a product, they're more likely to buy. And if the product is what you told them you were going to do, they're typically happier.
Yep.
And they'll leave you a 5-star review.
Yeah.
So last part about your GMB is we're going to collect reviews. We're going to send out 2 text messages. Well, we're going to ask in person. We're going to send out 2 text messages. We're going to send out 2 emails, and we're going to do happy calls when we're done to make sure the customer was satisfied. And we're going to ask again on that happy call And if they say yes, going to send them a text message and have them fill it out on the phone call. Maybe not fill out on the phone call, but we're at least going to send it to them again.
I don't hear the keyboard clacking.
So they're going to get hit 5 times
Yeah.
for a review.
Yeah.
And so that's going to help our rankings on our GMB. We're going to get shown more often than our competitors if we're consistently getting reviews. Google doesn't even, I don't even think they care if it's a bad review. They just want to see you're out doing stuff.
Yeah. Well, again, because I mean, Google's motivator is like they just want you to use their thing into all the features possible because it makes them feel good. And if Google feels good, then they're gonna do something for you. I don't know if that's technically true, but to me, that seems like what they would want.
I think it's slightly true. Yeah.
So you might as well just play the game.
Yeah, they know you're out there doing stuff, serving the customer, and that's who they're in it for the customer.
Yeah, sure.
They're in it for the person using their service, right? Which is your customers.
Yep.
And you're paying Google to be there.
Yep.
You don't even have to pay them. It's free on your GMP.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I think if you can do all those things, you're going to be way up, like a huge leg up on all your competition.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is the things like everybody's like, oh, there's so much competition out there. And there's hundreds and hundreds of these companies, and there are, but the percentage of those companies that do things well, like what we're talking about here today, are teeny tiny.
Yep.
So if you could just do these things, you set yourself apart from everybody else. Your competition goes away.
It's kind of funny because it's the same analogy that can be made in literally anything. I can say, Jared, there's literally thousands of basketball players.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't even ever want to play basketball because there's thousands of them.
But if you're the best basketball player, then you make it to the NBA.
Or even if you're not even the best, but if you just like train 3, 4, 5 times a week, now suddenly you are in a very top threshold of basketball players. I might not go to the NBA, but I'm like better than most people. Same thing with your business where it's like all you have to do is just go scroll on Google with plumber near me and see everybody and be like, okay, well, there's this many people within this review count and this rating, and then just work your way up. You're like, oh, there's only 2 companies that have over 1,000.
Yeah.
And then the next guy down is 350. Like, oh, I can beat 350. Dude, like, that's not very many reviews at all.
You could do that in a year.
Yeah, and then you just go, huh, cool. So I could be competing with the 2 guys who are at the top.
Yep.
And then that will help all of your other advertising efforts.
And now you only have 2 competitors instead of 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just by like, yeah, it's like.
That's how it works.
Yeah, like don't just look at the sea of competition and go, oh, it's too hard. They're everywhere.
Yep.
It's like, well, there's probably some gray in here that you can parse out and do better.
So then once we got our GMB set up, we'll probably get on Google Local Service Ads because they're typically fairly cheap. And it's a source where we can get calls, so why not? And we're going to do the same thing there. We're going to use the same description. We're going to put all the photos we can on it and call it a day.
It'll be fun to see how within the power washing industry, how different advertising strategies work, like what works and what doesn't work.
It's the same stuff.
Well, I know it's the same stuff, but it'll be interesting to see what has more effect.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about this with PPC with pay-per-click. Like, I wonder if the pay-per-click game will be different just because there doesn't seem to be that there's any players out there who are like pushing pay-per-click and all this kind of stuff.
There's 2. I found 2.
Gotcha.
But still, I bet the keywords are pretty cheap.
Yeah.
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 So we'll get on GLSA. Part of what the marketing company is going to do is they're going to set up our pay-per-click campaigns and manage those. They're going to make sure we're listed everywhere. So we're just findable on the internet. So when somebody searches our name, we basically own that whole first page. And then they're going to build out our website. And on our website, we're going to make sure and have all the stuff, the service pages. We're going to have maps. We're going to have Google reviews.
Of course, great pictures.
Great pictures.
Stuff, before and afters, all the things.
No generic photos. You're going to be able to schedule online. 1,000,001 different ways to contact us.
Yep. Call to actions all over the place.
Yep. And we're going to have a page that talks about our memberships where you can sign up for it. And then that's kind of the marketing side, the marketing company side, right? That's the stuff we're going to have them handle. And then we're going to do on our end social media content, right? So it's going to be a little different, right? You have to show the customer something that they care about.
Yeah.
So for a pressure washing company, if you think about what the customer cares about, they care about having a clean house,
Yeah.
right? So
they just want their stuff clean so it looks nice.
yeah, so if you have like a remodel company, or you do custom bath installs, or you do custom kitchens, before and afters, great.
Yeah, sure.
If you're a plumber, before and afters are dumb.
Yeah, because it's usually technical stuff.
Plumber, electrician, nobody cares.
Yeah, it's just like,
Nobody
oh,
cares.
cool. There's pipes that were there before, and now there's different pipes, but
Yeah.
they kind of look the same to me.
To a plumber, it looks way nicer.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're super proud of your install,
Showing your buddies,
but the customer doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to catch their attention in a different way, right? And so we always used memes. It was great. We used memes to talk about one of the things that we could offer the customer, right? That our competitors didn't. So to kind of separate ourselves, grab their attention, separate ourselves out of the market. With Dude Wash, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to use memes, but we're also going to use a ton of before and after photos.
Yeah, because that can be, it'll be interesting to see. And also because we'll be so focused on it, because it's going to be the main thing, that we can add a whole new creative edge to it. Essentially because we have media team that are even if we all go into the truck, let's just say hypothetically, we have people who see things through the eyes of media, who can capture things differently. So we just have a real cool group of skill sets that we can use to do, I would say, like top tier social media content. Yeah, that's original and all that
anything we preach to the customer is going to be, hey, look at us, we're professional. We can get you a 15% discount, and we have guaranteed appointment times. Give us a ring. We'll be there when we say we're going to be there.
Yeah. And then of course your house is going to be clean and look awesome and all that stuff, all the normal stuff.
Yep. Of course.
Yeah.
That's
like a given. Yeah. That's like a given.
That's what everybody else preaches.
Yep.
Hey,
for us, it's almost like that. Well,
we can clean your house.
Yeah.
It's
We're like,
yeah,
well,
no, duh.
That's what you called us for.
You're a house cleaning company.
If we didn't clean your house really well,
something's wrong.
Yeah, something's weird. I almost don't need to tell you that I'm going to clean your house well, because that's like a given. Like, look at us. Like,
yep. Okay, so website is going to have, we're going to have our Facebook pixel on there, so that when we send people to our website, it'll trigger our Facebook pixel. We will also have the Google tracking code. I don't know what that's called anymore. I think it's called Google Analytics or whatever. So that when we send people to our website from a source outside of Google, we can tell Google, hey, this person went to our website, and then we can follow them around. So
a local business actually hit me with some retargeting. I was very proud.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a franchise, but
yeah.
But it's the trampoline park. So I was looking up trampoline park, and then I went to their website, and then here I'm getting served ads on social. The second Pensacola
now
business.
You know who they are.
Yeah, I do, and I'm very appreciative.
No doubt about it.
And I like it. I'm like, thanks, guys. I appreciate you following me. Like, this is how what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Again, the only 2 companies in this town have actually followed me around.
Yeah, it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because it's so cheap.
Yeah. And it's so effective.
So if you think about it, so we're going to have our GMB. People are going to click to go to our website. We're going to have Google local service ads. People are probably going to click and go check out our website. We're also going to have pay-per-click. People are going to go check out our website. On top of that, we're going to be putting out social media content. And part of what we do on social media is we're going to put a budget just boosting posts. We're going to boost those posts. On every single post, we're going to have a button to learn more. It's going to take you to our website. Okay? So anytime we talk about 15% off discounts, our memberships, guaranteed appointments, we're going to have a button that says learn more, where you go to a specific page on our website that talks about that. Either a website or a landing page. Doesn't matter.
Sure.
And then we're going to create commercials. So we're going to film some funny
They're going to be awesome.
commercials.
They're going to be so cool.
We're going to come up with some just dumb, funny, eye-catching, humorous commercials. And we're going to run those as Facebook ads from the ads manager in Facebook.
I mean, that's why I'm working out so hard, so I can be a really strong dude wash in the commercial, you know?
Yeah. So
saying lines like robot guy.
Dude, you are a robot guy.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. You're going to, yeah. You can't give Joel a script or he reads it like a robot.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to read stuff. My wife, when I was young in marriage, I was like, oh, I'm gonna like read the Bible to my wife. You know, it's a cool thing. My wife does not tolerate me reading to her because
you read like robot.
not that. I think it's because I'll like pause and do that and stuff, and she's like, I just can't take this. I can't take these extra noises you make while you're reading.
When you're reading, are you roboting in your head?
No, in my head it sounds normal.
So have you ever listened to The Science of Getting Rich?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you listen to it?
Yeah, I did.
Do you remember the guy's voice?
Kind of.
Anybody listening, if you haven't read The Science of Getting Rich, you have to read it. It's my favorite book. Mm-hmm. And there's a version of it on Amazon. What is it? It's not Amazon. Audible, owned by Amazon. Go figure. You can literally get it for 1 credit. And if you have an Amazon account, you typically have a credit available.
Sure.
So go get it. You literally have no excuse. And listen to it because it's a good listen. It's not a book you have to read. You can listen to it.
Right. It's pretty short too. It feels like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah. Something by Wallace. I
don't know.
I think is the author. And if you get the right one, the guy who reads it, his voice is phenomenal. It's the voice that I read all my books in now.
Interesting. No, it's still kind of my voice. I don't know how to not read with a voice in my head. People do that.
Dude,
like people who like quote unquote speed read.
Yep.
Where you just look at a page and absorb information because your eyes are actually looking at everything.
No way.
Like I try that and I just end up missing like
I fall
half
asleep.
of it. I just miss it. I go back. I'm like, oh, I actually totally missed that paragraph. But it takes practice. It's a practice thing.
No thanks.
But you could read so fast, Jared.
I can also like 2x speed YouTube videos.
Do you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay. Where were we, dude?
Who knows? Social media. We're gonna
Always
make some
interrupting me.
I know,
We're gonna make some sweet ads.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the comments the other day, by the way.
What was it? We're gonna make some sweet ads.
No.
Oh,
The Joel's always interrupting Jared.
yeah. Well, sorry guys.
I'm just about to give the nugget,
And then,
and then you interrupt it.
You're about to drop a dank nug, and then I'm like, "Hey, Jared, have you ever thought about what ice cream would look like on top of your head?"
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna make probably 3 super dope video ads.
Yeah.
That we're gonna take our time making, that are gonna be funny. And here's the beauty about social media: like you don't have to make a fancy looking ad anymore.
Oh yeah, you can just take.
You
your
can
phone
literally
and yell at the phone.
You can literally film ads with your phone, and you can get CapCut on your phone, and you can cut scenes together.
Yep.
You can create captions, and you can create some pretty decent videos. So, we have professional video equipment and microphones. And
We have professional editors
and things like that. So we're gonna take advantage of that and probably create 3 pretty good ads that are funny, that are maybe a little bit like, taboo.
Yeah, they'll even like Dude Wash, which is on the edge because people are like, what?
Yeah.
Like, 'cause in their head, they're like, why would you call a company that and take yourself seriously?
Yeah.
And then we're like, just wait.
Yeah.
It's going to get better.
So we'll make some cool ads, and then we'll run those in the ads manager, and all those ads are going to have a button on them that take you to our webpage.
Yeah.
I think they're starting to get the gist of it.
Yeah.
Everything leads to our webpage to learn more.
Wait. So is the website important?
The website is very important.
Okay.
The website is going to be built to convert, but it's also going to be built to educate, right?
Sure.
So it converts, plus it educates them on who we are, what we do, and why they should hire us. Every single page, every single paragraph, okay? Outside of, we'll get back to like what we're going to do with those visitors later. Outside of those Facebook ads, and let's talk budget. Well, let's talk the last thing we're going to do, and then we'll talk budgets. We're also going to take those videos. We're going to make 2 versions, a vertical version and a horizontal version. We're going to run the vertical version on social media, and we're going to run the horizontal versions on YouTube. And that's literally all the advertising we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to take over the market, I promise you, just with that.
Oh, yeah.
So YouTube, guess what's going to happen if they click on our ad?
They're going to go to our Facebook.
They're going to go to our website.
Oh, damn.
Okay. YouTube, I highly doubt, like these videos, they're not going to be like, go check out our website or
Right.
get, take advantage of this one-time offer. They're going to be solely brand awareness. We are going to communicate in funny ways who we are and why they should hire us.
Yep.
Basically, we're going to talk about our membership, 15% off, and that we get there really fast in funny ways.
Yep.
Brand awareness, branding, what we can do for you.
Yep.
Okay. I prefer to make funny ads, by the way, because I feel like it attracts a better customer. Like if you don't like if you're not going to hire somebody because their ad is too funny, I don't want to work with you.
Especially in this day and age, like the people who don't like funny stuff are typically the hardest people to deal with in our current moment.
Oh yeah. And here, people in the trades have such a hard time with brands that stand out with, I guess, with being different and being loud and obnoxious.
Yeah, because it's almost like, well, that's not allowed and that'll never work.
It works.
Of course it works.
The reason it works is because most of the people in the trades don't want to be loud and obnoxious. Yeah. And if you can be loud and obnoxious, it works.
Yeah, what's funny about that, though, is like most of the people in the trades are people who are loud and obnoxious. And I don't mean that as a dig. I just mean that as like...
in a very different way, though.
Yeah, but it's like, it's not a dig. It's just like, they're funny. And they're
good people.
Yeah, they're good people and they tell jokes and they like to laugh and all these things. But then when it comes to like their brand position, like, no, we're professional. Yeah. And it's like, well, everybody assumes you're professional. Like that's the assumption. You don't have to prove that. Yeah. Like, so like stand out.
Yeah. Go look at the biggest companies in the world. They're all loud and obnoxious.
Yeah. And they're funny.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know which insurance company it is with the guy who's like that. He's like the accident. He's like that. I'll say the big words. He's the anthropomorphization of the accident. So he's like, I'm a leaky pipe. And he's dressed up as a leaky pipe. And he's like, I'm about to break. And he's just like, or he's like, I'm that stick that falls on your car while you're driving. Like they're super funny ads, but they communicate the point. And it's just like, I appreciate those so much more than like, I'm a guy telling you about my services.
Hey, call Allstate. Because we're awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. No thanks.
I mean, Geico, like, got really far in the market with a talking gecko.
Yeah.
Like the whole time making fun of itself for having a talking gecko.
Yeah.
And then Progressive now has their characters who are silly.
Flo.
Yep.
Yep.
And so it's just like, if you look at it, the best performing stuff is usually just going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
So why not play?
You got to remember why your customers are on these platforms in the first place.
Yeah. They're there to be entertained.
They're there for entertainment.
And if you can participate in the entertainment, they're going to be like, I like that.
I like these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're actually going to look at your crap.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're not.
They're going to be like, same old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about attention. You got to grab their attention. And then you can tell them stuff. First, you got to get their attention.
Yep.
And if you're boring with your brand or your brand message or your ads, they're gone.
Yep.
So you don't even get to tell them about your company. Okay. All of these sources are leading to our website. Which gives us the ability to follow them around on Google. If you think about like trades, home service in general, I don't care what kind of home service you offer. If you plumber, electrician, HVAC, pressure washing, house cleaning, help me out here, appliance repair, barbecue grill.
Yeah, barbecue grill
cleaning and repair.
Yep.
That's a weird one to me.
Yep.
Anything where you are going to somebody's home and offering a service, typically the person calling you is the wife.
Yep.
The wife of the home. So typically people who are calling you are dual income families who own homes, who can afford to hire people to do stuff for them.
Yeah. Yep.
And typically it's the wife that calls you because men don't call other people to help them out, right? They're too proud. So
wait a second. I call people all the time.
Yeah, you're different.
Damn. I'll think about
We always knew you were different.
Dang. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it is what it is.
It isn't what it isn't. Dude, I love when somebody's looking for something. I love saying, there it isn't. That's so much fun.
Because they're like, oh,
dang it.
Stupid Jared. Gosh. But your kids love that one.
Have you ever watched Mitch Hedberg?
Yeah.
And he's like, there's a skit where he has the microphone and he's talking about how he likes to kink the microphone cable and tell a bunch of jokes and let it go and you get a bunch of jokes all at once.
Yeah.
In that skit, he has one where, and I'm not going to do it justice at all, but if you got, and he's dead now.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
He died a long time ago.
What, did he die of a drug overdose?
Yep.
Yeah. He looked like he was doing drugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you guys have never heard Mitch Hedberg, go just
Funny
Google it
guy.
on YouTube.
One-liner jokes. It's great.
Super funny. One of his jokes, he says, what's with the, what is the word where you take two words and you put it together? You're supposed to know this. My different friend who likes big words. Can't even think of this simple word.
I don't even know. 2 words, you put them together?
Yeah.
A word smush.
No, there's a word for it when you take two words and put it together.
What, like a compound word?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. My wife could tell us.
Yeah.
So he's like at his hotel and he's like, what's with the do not disturb signs? And he's like, do. All right, I get to disturb this guy. Not. Shit.
Yeah, I remember that one.
It's funny.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite comedian joke ever.
Dude, all right. Nah, fuck.
Sorry, Dad.
Yeah, that's it.
Sorry for Joel's cussing.
He stopped listening a long time ago on account of me, so it's okay.
My dad hates Joel's cussing, if you don't know that already.
Because I cuss all the time. It's
All
wild.
the time. I don't think you cuss ever except for sometimes on this podcast.
Yeah, and then a lot on other parts of life.
And my dad just caught you that
On
one
the one time, and I said like
The
ass
one-
or something.
yeah.
Like, I didn't say anything.
He's like, I don't know about that Joel guy.
Are you sure? He seems to have a potty mouth.
Kind of got a potty mouth.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Okay. Everybody's going to our website.
Yeah.
We're going to follow them around. Most of the people going to our website are middle-aged women who own homes, right? It's just fact of the matter.
Yeah.
They're dual income. The wife is taking the liberty to do it. Younger people don't own homes. And the older generation, they have their guy that they call that's super cheap because they're on Social Security or welfare, right?
Yeah.
So typically it's middle-aged women who have kids at home, who have families, who are calling you. And they're going to your website. And one of the most effective things you can do is follow them around on the internet
Yep.
with Google display ads.
Because that's where those people are going to be for a lot of their life is on the internet.
Well, here's the thing. If you think about that person, like Google display ads, the number one place they show up is blogs.
Yep. Sure.
So
oh, yeah.
recipe sites, any blogs about makeup or how to dress.
Fantasy
or,
books featuring, fairies of the
Yeah,
and
whatever.
such.
What are the number one kind of sites that middle-aged moms go on? They go to a ton of blog-style websites.
Where there's text, and as we all know, in between those texts, there is 1,000 different chunks.
There's 1,000 chunks for
There's
ads.
ad space galore.
And you can use Google Display and you can follow them around for 90 days and literally take up all of the ad space
Yeah.
on that page.
Yeah.
So if you think about the journey of this from the customer, they saw an ad of yours. They clicked on it. Then they saw your website, right? And then Google says, hey, we're going to follow you around. So then for 90 days, they see you everywhere. And the reason they clicked on your ad was because they were thinking, oh, my house is getting kind of dirty. I should check these guys out.
I tried doing it myself and it sucked.
And so now for 90 days, you're reminding them about their dirty house and how nasty it is and that they just need to call us to get their house cleaned. And it doesn't matter what you do, what kind of home service you offer. Retargeting is literally one of the best ways to get people to know about your business.
Yep. And not enough people do it.
No. And you can do it on Google and you can do it on Meta. So now you know this person is interested in your services. Then you can start feeding them specific ads to try to get them to call you.
Right, sure.
Right? Now you can start feeding them the discount ads to get them to call you and sign up for your membership. You can start letting them know, hey, we have guaranteed 1 hour appointment times. We're going to be there really, really quick. We're really easy to deal with.
Right.
You should probably just call us and get that house cleaned.
Yeah, if you want a house clean and like real fast, when you want it to be clean, you got a big wedding coming up, you got trying to sell your house, whatever. You just trying to keep up with the Joneses, they got a clean house too. You should probably have a clean house.
Whatever, right? That's one of the most effective things you can do. But you have to be running those ads on the outside to drive people to your website so you have somebody to retarget.
Yeah, sure.
And the retargeting is super cheap. I don't think I ever spent more than $600 a month.
Wow.
at prospect or retargeting people. And you set a budget,
Sure.
and I don't think I ever hit max budget. Otherwise, I would have raised it.
Yeah.
Just never happened. So very effective, very cheap. When you mix that with, you're going to be in these people's neighborhoods.
Sure.
You're going to be on their phones. You're going to be on their TV when they're watching YouTube. Then you're going to be following them around for 90 days. When you mix all that stuff together, plus their neighbor just got their house washed by you, and their other neighbor told you how awesome they were, that's what creates massive call volume.
Yep.
Everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows you do a good job. Everybody knows you get a 15% discount. Everybody knows it's guaranteed appointment times. Then you get more 5-star reviews, better rankings, on and on and on and on. Snowball, snowballs, right? Did we miss anything?
What about like global budgets?
Budgets. Okay. So in the beginning, we'll probably spend between 10 and 15% of revenue. So not necessarily desired revenue. Actually, in the beginning, it's going to be a lot more.
Because we want to like punch the market in its face.
We want to punch the market in the face. In the beginning, and we plan this out in a spreadsheet, it's not willy-nilly.
Yeah, sure.
So that we can, basically in the beginning, when we have 2 trucks, but obviously we don't have any work, so we're not going to keep 2 trucks busy.
Right.
Probably 1 truck is going to be busy for a minute. And that truck, when it's out rocking and rolling, is basically going to break even, is how we set our budgets.
Yep.
So in the first year, we planned to spend $150,000 on marketing budgets, which might sound scary to a lot of people, but if we can keep 1 truck busy, that truck still makes like 50 grand profit after it pays the person driving the truck and all the other expenses of the business. So that's how we decided to set our budget. The second we get 2 trucks, we can basically continue to spend the same amount of money, but now we have 2 trucks on the road. And so the marketing budget in the beginning is like 20% of what 1 truck revenue can do.
Sure.
The second you get 2 trucks on the road, it drops to 10%.
Yeah.
So, and we want to do that because we want to get to that 2 truck part as fast as possible because that's where the good money is at.
Yeah, we got 2 trucks, and we also have 2 trucks.
Yeah, 2 trucks, you start cash flowing.
Yeah.
And we paid for the second truck. We might as well get to use it, right? So 2 trucks, you get to cash flow. We can still spend $150,000. The way we're going to determine those budgets is we're going to start spending. And we're going to, like, we don't know what Google local service ads is going to cost. We don't know what pay-per-click is going to cost. So we're going to set some lower budgets there. Google local service ads will probably just max it out and say whatever we get from it, we get from it. We're going to track it. If it's too much, we'll tone it down. Pay-per-click, we'll have to see. But then like Facebook and YouTube and retargeting, we're going to spend the majority of our budgets just pushing brand awareness. On
just
that
saturating
stuff.
the market with ourselves.
Yeah, to a small audience. To a relatively small audience. We're going to pick one area that we want to hit real hard, and we're going to hit that area really hard. And then as the business grows, we'll grow that area that we advertise to. Pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
And it's probably going to work, which is the crazy part.
Yeah, which is the hilarious part.
Actually, I know it's going to work.
Yeah.
It's like,
if it doesn't work, we'll find something will work, and this will probably work.
Here's the thing. People always want some sort of like lead generation. They want to sign up for a website that just sends them jobs.
Yeah, and that's kind of the expectation they either get from the marketing agency or the expectation that they were told to expect, like from the almost like just from the general group of people, because everybody thinks that that's a thing. I don't know how they actually arrived at that idea, because that idea doesn't even make sense if you just think about it. It's like, so you're telling me that you want a mythical thing to just make your phone ring without any of the things that we just talked about? Like, you just want to like,
and think about
show
that.
up and your phone rings? Like,
well, and then think about that as well. Like, no pre-education to your customer, like no pre-expectations. We just have a customer that bought a lead from a website, and then this random person shows up to their house. Customers don't want that.
yeah,
It doesn't work. And then even even when that does happen, typically it's the customer that wants the cheapest price.
Yeah.
And so if you have no opportunity to build value until you actually show up on their doorstep, you're going to have a really hard time selling them on your services when they know absolutely diddly squat about you.
Yeah.
They've never seen you before in their life. They know nothing about what you do. They didn't call you specifically. They just want their house washed. Now it's really hard to sell to that person. And you're probably going to have to pay a lot of money for that thing. So it's a terrible way to market. And people are scared to go do brand awareness because they go, well, what's my ROI? Is it going to work? How do we know? And that's the thing. You can't measure ROI on brand awareness ads.
Right.
It's impossible.
Right.
We have no idea.
Right.
But we know from history of advertising that it works. Like we can look at all the large companies in the world; they all do brand awareness.
Yeah, and I mean, like buying a lead didn't exist until relatively recently.
Right.
Like everything was about, hey, have you heard of so-and-so company? They did a good job. You should hire them for your thing. Like that's been how people bring their products to market since products were available and people were there to bring them to market.
Literally the most proven form of advertising.
Yeah.
It's just how we go about it nowadays has changed.
Yeah,
the
channels,
platforms that we use has changed.
And the platforms are more effective.
They're way more effective.
Like
it's never been easier.
Like these platforms, these cell phones are very good at keeping people on them. And those companies like Google and Meta are like, just give me money and I'll make people see your stuff.
Here's what's crazy. Like you can so and another thing I've thought about, you can literally match, like you could do this. You could run Facebook ads and download your audience list and compare it to, let's say you're running them to a specific zip code. You can then go pull the mail data for that zip code, and you can match customers who have seen your Facebook ads to customers' addresses. And then you can send them specifically, only the ones that have seen your Facebook ads, postcards in the mail. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You've never been able to do that before.
No, you've never been able to figure out what, and if you think about brand awareness from like a classic sense of like billboards, TV, even just truck wraps, that isn't available. You don't know who saw your truck wrap or billboard, and you can't find out where they live. But because everybody's connected and has their location services on, then you can suddenly do what you just suggested, which is wild.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do that. I would find a zip code and I would serve Facebook ads to that zip code, YouTube ads to that zip code, pay-per-click to that zip code, GLSA to that zip code, and then I would serve mail to that zip code. I would get work in that zip code. My vans would be in that zip code. I would go do events in that zip code.
Yeah, you would just do like this. You just like, and then spin out, and then eventually you'd start another little circle over here, and then a circle over here.
I would just pick the next zip code over. Okay, now we serve this zip code, or not even serve, but now we advertise in this zip code.
Yeah.
And on and on and on. And you just make that bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually it's so big, you're like, I need another location.
Yeah, sure.
Because we're driving around like crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, really. And a good marketing company can make the majority of this happen for you.
Yep.
The one thing that marketing companies really suck at, well, they're really good at like doing the basic stuff, making sure you're findable.
Yeah.
Most marketing companies now want you to have a legitimate brand.
Yeah. Well, because they know that without it, they're not going to get you the same results. It's hard to be mad at them.
It's hard to get you results. What they're not going to be good at is they don't know your message. They don't know what makes your company different. Yeah. They don't know what makes you stand out from your competitors. Yeah. So if you can come up with that messaging beforehand, and instead of just saying, hey, marketing company, handle my marketing, do them a favor and write down the messaging, go get the photos, make the videos, and then when they come up with your website, then go, hey, I want to change the wording on this. I wrote you what I want it to be, or here's a rough draft of what I want it to be. Can you make it better and put it on there?
Right.
We have tools like ChatGPT nowadays where a plumber who has no writing capabilities whatsoever can write something up and put it in ChatGPT and make it sound legit, and we can put that on my website.
Yeah.
And it needs to be a communication between you and your marketing company to make sure that all that stuff happens.
Yeah.
The one thing that most marketing companies are going to be horrible at is social media.
Yep.
Because they literally just don't have the resources. It's not even, they don't get the resources because nobody wants to pay for it.
Yeah, because everybody is trained to think that, well, I need to understand my return on every little avenue so that I can really understand what's going on.
Yep.
And again, brand awareness isn't like a return game. It's like, hey, yeah, people are going to see you. Do you think they're going to buy you if they see you and they come to know, like, and trust you? And you go, yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's common sense.
But people they don't think in that way in this moment.
Nope.
Because they want to find I need the measurable thing. So I know my money is worth it.
Yep.
Because they've been taught to think that by marketing agencies who have told them that that's how they should think.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to do all this stuff. It's going to get us pretty far.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, we're going to go find, home shows, events that we can go to and have a booth at. Mm-hmm. That way we can go have a booth and get in front of our customers. I know there's a ton of parades and things downtown that we can have a booth at. Mm-hmm. We'll probably hand out bandanas or something fun. If you're a plumber, you can hand out plungers with your logo on them. All sorts of stuff you can do, right? Mm-hmm. Just to build that brand awareness, show people you're involved in the community, and get out there and do that stuff. And then after all of that, like once we've maximized all of that, which will probably take a long time, then we'll probably move into, I don't know if I'll ever get on TV or radio.
I mean, even when you said that, it's so funny because the way that you talked about YouTube is you're like, yeah, when you're watching YouTube on your TV.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's kind of funny because like YouTube, people are pay good money to get on your local access channels. Mm-hmm. When it's like, you could pay considerable less and just be on their YouTube, which is in their living room.
Yep. This is what I do next. I would just start doing TikTok ads.
Sure.
Like TikTok's becoming popular enough with middle-aged moms that you could probably run some TikTok ads.
Yep.
And do okay for brand awareness. And then after that, I would probably do some billboards.
Yeah, sure. Especially around here where billboards are a popular avenue.
Yep. People say billboards don't work, but I'd believe otherwise.
Yeah. When people say something doesn't work, there's so many layers to that statement.
There is. So there's like one main highway that goes down Pensacola. What is that?
The
I-10?
Yep.
Yeah, so I-10 takes you from like northern Pensacola to southern Pensacola. It's the main like highway.
Gets you to the beach.
Gets you to the beach,
Well, it gets you to the 110 and that gets you to the
So
beach.
anybody going downtown or to the beach or to Gulf Breeze or going from downtown to their home, they're all driving down I-10.
Yeah.
It's probably the busiest highway here. Mm-hmm. And there's billboards up and down the highway.
Yep.
Now, there's one billboard for somebody that sells jewelry. It's a wedding, specifically wedding jewelry, okay? And I have driven by that billboard probably 1,000 times, and I have no idea who it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I have no idea who it is either.
Because you can see the ring on the billboard, but the name, the logo, you can't read it.
Yeah.
You have no idea, right? That person is going to tell you billboards don't work.
Yeah. And
if that's the only advertising they're doing, they're like, yeah, but I tried billboards. They don't work.
Yep.
Well, of course they don't work. Your billboard sucks.
Yeah.
There's another person who has billboards right next to the ring billboard. His name is Joe Zazor.
Yep.
He's a lawyer.
Yep, and I hate
his website is IHateJoeZazor.com. The only reason I know that is from his billboards.
Yeah.
It's literally the only advertising I've seen of his.
And you know what's hilarious about that, Jared, is that I know where his office is.
You know him. I know him. All of our friends know him. And all of our friends know where his office is, too.
And you know the funny thing is if I got into a car accident, I'd just call him. Because I'd be like, well, he's the only guy I know. That and the other big company that has the funny things about...
Morgan & Morgan?
Yeah, Morgan & Morgan. But again...
Size matters.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a good branding campaign.
Yeah, so, and for everybody listening, they have billboards that say size matters on them. It's giant. And on the very bottom, it's like Morgan & Morgan, world's largest law firm.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yep.
Okay.
Also, when people say like things like billboards don't work, like the other billboards that we have in town is ones for like I don't know exactly. Like, I think one was like Starbucks or something. Like, but the big brands have billboards, and so it's like,
yeah, I don't know if I've seen any like huge brand billboards. I've seen some really crappy, like And Services has some billboards around here that are garbage.
I think I've seen like
Peden has billboards that are
and I feel like
garbage.
that the And Services one is just like, hey, we're the franchise and we're going to help you out and give you a billboard placement.
Yeah.
But I've seen one And Services truck here.
I haven't seen a single one.
I just saw one like a couple days ago, and I was like, holy crap, that's the first one I've seen. I've been looking for them since I moved here.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I think it's just like a franchise deal, and that's the digital billboard that shifts, you know. But I think
I would never do those, by the way.
Yeah, because they're static.
No.
You're only buying a chunk of attention.
Yep.
Where arguably like
and it changes every like 30 seconds, and it takes like 30 seconds to change.
Yeah.
So half the time you start driving by the billboard, you see 5 seconds of it, and then it starts changing, and then you drive on by.
Isaac was trying to get me to look at this one because it was like for a gym. He's like, Dad, they're rock climbing. And I was like, where? And every time I could look back, he's like, it just changed.
Yeah.
And I look at the road, he's like, it's back. And I'm like, where? And
Learn how to read, boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me what it is, you know? But like to your point, it's like, it's just gives us some friction between you and figuring out what the billboard says.
Yeah, it's probably cheaper.
It's probably a lot cheaper.
But I would buy a static one.
Yeah. The point is billboards work. Companies use it. Like I've seen, not here, but I've seen Chick-fil-A billboards. You know, I've seen Burger King billboards.
There's an example of a great billboard. Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah, they crushed the billboard game.
They crush it.
Well, because they looked at a billboard and said, how can we work outside the confines of a static image in this frame?
Yeah.
And so then they did their super funny campaign, which is
with the cows painting chicken.
Yeah, spelled wrong.
Yeah.
So
chicken
awesome.
Exit 58.
That's a good example of humor. Like nobody looks at Chick-fil-A and says, I don't go there because they're not professional.
Here's what's funny about that billboard is it doesn't say Chick-fil-A on it anywhere.
No, but we know.
Yeah. And it took me we drove in my camper van twice through the United States. And I would see these billboards, and it took me like forever before I put two and two together. Oh, that's Chick-fil-A's billboard.
Yeah.
But once I did, it was like, every time I see a white billboard with black letters, I'm like, Chick-fil-A?
Yeah. Must be Chick-fil-A nearby.
And think about how simple that billboard was.
Yep.
Extremely simple. Yeah. Extremely simple.
Just well thought.
Well thought out. Very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it's not that difficult.
Yeah.
We just laid it all out on this table for you.
Yeah.
So.
And of course, we'll keep you guys updated as we go.
Hey, and if you guys have questions, put them in the comments down below on any of this kind of stuff. And because we're going to start doing more reading the comments and answering questions episodes. It's going to be dope.
Yep.
And grab our playbook, wealthyplumber.com/playbook.
I think so.
www.wealthyplumber.com/playbook. If you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. Thanks, Jared.
See you, man.
See you.